bunch of niches in one location, so say you're targeting Atlanta just for example purposes, you're going after a dentist, an accountant, a chiropractor, masseuse, all stuff, you guys speak a lot of different. You don't have to speak their language, but once you start talking to a certain niche over and over, you kind of see how they feel. You know how they're coming from. You know their marketing, and you get in touch with that. Restaurants and bars and stuff like that for me are second nature. I've worked in the restaurant business since I was little. I feel very comfortable in those waters, and that's where I got started. Now I'm all over the board, but here's the idea. Say you pick a niche. Say you're going after chiropractors or you're going after auto repair shops or anything like that. By going to one niche and spread it out over a couple cities, what you're doing is you're getting your foot in the door in that niche or that location. So if you try to go after everybody in one city, you're kind of wasting your time, because once you get one client in one city, and then you have a leverage point where, hey, I'll give you, if they're paying you just $50 a month, you're like, hey, I'll give you 4 months off your bill if you refer anybody to me. Incentivize them to go out there and do the selling for you. So then you have one central point to get into a location, or location, the city, and then you can spread out from there, as opposed to just going all the way and trying to encompass it in one big blow. You're spreading out further, you're getting your name out there further, and working with one niche. I mean, I have found from people I've talked to and other people I've got going with this stuff that it's easier for them to go after one niche.
Cool. Look at Audrey's question. And
I know you're saying that.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're saying direct mail is the way to get clients. Can you talk a bit about emailing and using email sleuth, et cetera, to get prospects? Email sleuth, all it does is fills out web forms, contact forms, and then once they reply to the emails, it yanks that email address. So all it does is get you an email address. Now, once you have that email address, I suggest you take it over to mobile ATM and plug it in there. There's some training inside mobile ATM showing you different types of method, and it's been updated so much that basically you can create whatever type of page you want, and all it's going to do is automate the mailing and the page creation, and it's also got follow-up email capabilities, and you can turn on what are we using there? What do we use to track emails in there? I keep forgetting the name of it.
Talking about a mobile ATM, yeah, Read Notify,
yeah,
and also Twilio too.
Yeah,
Twilio
for tracking.
that tells you when they actually look at the landing page.
So everything that there is to know about emailing is inside mobile ATM. Basically the email's got the same thing as a direct mail does. The subject line's got to get it opened. And if you use email sleuth to get the email address, you know 100% that email is being checked and responded to, so that ups your success rate dramatically. And then once they open it, they got to read it and take action. By this, taking action is clicking on a link. Once they click on that link and go to the landing page and see their website, then an example of what it looks like, you're 85% of the way there. All they got to do is pick up the phone and call you, whether that takes 1 day, whether it takes 2 months, neither here nor there. Now, if you had them have it tracked, see they open, they've clicked, they've opened a few times, they forwarded, did whatever, then that's an easy follow-up phone call. And it's not a cold call, it's a warm call. Hey, I sent you this information. I noticed that they've looked at it a few times. I wonder who I need to talk to see if they have any questions that need answered. You're not calling for a sell. You're basically whoever answers the phone. If it's a gatekeeper, says, hey, this is John's dentist. What can I do for you, Beck? Hey, I sent an email to the owners the other day. I noticed that they looked at it a few times. I was just following up to see if they have any question. Now, in the gatekeeper's mind, you're not going for a sale. You sent them an email, and you said that they've opened it and looked at it. So this is something the business owner knows about. They're not going to go back there and be like, hey, this. And the business owner will be like, what? The business owner or whoever they go to has actually looked at it and looked at it a few times. So when you go back there and the person who's taking the call goes back there and says, hey, so-and-so's on the line, they said they sent you an email, and you can tell them it's about their mobile website, they'll be like, oh, yeah, I might have some questions. Or if not, and if they say no, then just move on. I mean, it's very easy with those two programs, especially if you're outsourcing the collection of URLs with contact forms. The way these things are set up, they're a mass appeal type thing. Direct mail's got a better response rate, but it still does need to be printed out, put in an envelope, addressed, sent out, which takes a little bit of time. With email, you can hire somebody off Fiverr for 2 hours, or I'd suggest just going straight to the Philippines and getting somebody for like $200 a month that does nothing but fills up your CSV form of CSV spreadsheet. That way you have a constant new list of stuff to upload. Once you upload, you send. I mean, it's pretty much automated, and all you do is answer emails or your phone, and you get in a rhythm that way. Does that answer? The questions are coming in now. I've missed it. Where's it at? Hold on, guys. I'm expanding my question box.
Yeah, I do
Kathy.
too.
Kathy, does that make sense?
That was Audrey.
No, that's Audrey. Yeah, never mind. In other words, get over perfection. Absolutely. If me or Lee waited, we still don't have this stuff perfected, and I'm not going to say we do. If we waited for that, you guys would not be on this call right now learning the stuff because we never would have figured it out because we'd be waiting. Get stuff out. What I tell everybody, I don't care if you're using mobile ATM or direct mail, get a list of things, fire it up in mobile ATM, and hit the send button. Nothing's going to happen until there's a reasonable expectation that somebody somewhere is going to contact you about your services. If you can wake up every day and there's no chance because you don't have any direct mail out there, you don't have any email sent off, if none of that's happened, every day you wake up, there's no chance somebody's going to call you trying to hire you, then you're not in business. You're just messing around. You might want to call it, say you're in business, but you're not. As soon as the emails start going, as soon as the direct mail starts going out, a crazy thing happens. People start responding. We talked about the Force Results Masterclass, and I don't know who's in here knows about that, but we'll talk about that later on. A lady in there didn't follow our instructions. She took our direct mail piece and emailed 3 businesses, and I assume she just attached the PDF of it, got a response. 3 emails and got 1 response. It's that simple. All you guys have to do is start doing it.
And her status update in the Facebook group says, OMG, the letter works. And she didn't even do it right. And AJ and I were looking at it, you know, looking at her status update. I mean, we were like grinning from ear to ear. And, you know, we were reading it. And so then AJ says, well, wait a minute. She didn't mail this, did she? And I'm looking at it and said, no, she put it in an email. So the best we can figure is she took the direct mail letter, popped it in an email somehow and sent that out. But in other words, she did it wrong. But she took action. And that is what is so incredibly cool, because she took action. And now she's got somebody on the hook.
She sent 3 emails. Probably took her 20 minutes.
I know. I love that.
And she's got somebody that's interested in hiring her. So, yeah.
So quit thinking so much and start doing. That's the way to get it done.
Keeping in line with tracking, can you track stats on mobile websites, visitors, form submission, etc.? That is something I'm looking into currently. I track all my clients' sites traffic and stuff, and I've got somebody that follows up and does all the monthly reporting for my clients, so I don't even know exactly if it's keeping track of the mobile website's traffic. So that's a good question. It's something I need to look into, and my clients are probably interested to know. Same thing, I don't know. I know it's helping them because they've gotten calls from their website. I've had them put specific stuff up on their mobile website. The only way to find it's on there. So it's a good question on tracking for mobile, and I'll look into it. Leslie, do you know anything?
I talked to Kyle about this, and basically we're working on it. The deal is, you know, if you want something as, you know, Google Analytics is really cool and really good. If you want something like that, we can't do that. I mean, it would just take us way too much programming, too much money to include that. So we're trying to figure out basically what would be a good subset of the kinds of things that Google Analytics could do, the kinds of things that you would really want to be able to tell your client, you know, X number of people landed on the website, X number of people filled out your contact form, that kind of stuff. If we could get it down to where it's a small subset of stuff, then we could do it. But we're working on that.
Okay, Rich, would you please give a simple overview of what
do you know what SW? Software.
Software is available on EZPP and what is the simplest to create fast cash flow using VAs. If you want to do the least possible work, get a VA, have them go out there and just get a ton of email addresses for businesses, have them dump it in the CSV file. You upload the CSV file to mobile ATM and hit send. That's the quickest way to get your phone ringing. Long term, the best route to go is direct mail. And I don't know if you were on we had a call the other day about our, and we got another call coming up tomorrow about our Force Results Masterclass we're running. We'll talk about that later on if anybody here wants to get in on that. I need a good webmaster. Any suggestions? Yes, no. I mean, I got a guy I work with, but he's busy. I mean, I can't turn you on to my guy, so I don't have like a list of people, but we can probably go together, or me and Lee can probably get together at some point this week and put together a list of people that we've worked in the past.
That's tough. I know of only one that I would actually even consider recommending.
Yeah, I hate webmasters too. So
I mean, the thing about webmasters is they really need to, for the amount of work that they do. This is why neither one of us do this. For the amount of work that they actually end up doing, they need to be charging about 10 times what they normally charge. but they don't because they're scared the client won't pay it. And then they get into this thing with the client, and the client wants all these changes, and then they feel ripped off, and it's never a good experience.
Yeah.
Daniel says the Twilio function is awesome. It is, yeah.
And you're all the way down there. Okay, Scott. Okay, you took care of that. These are recorded.
Yeah, we're recording these.
Twilio functions awesome. When I saw what Twilio could do with this plugin, I was just excited. Very excited. I set out mobile ATM. I'm wondering what the statistics are. Like, how many emails should I shoot for per day? If you're scraping the leads, there's a time suck there by putting together a CSV file. If you send out 100 of those a day, I mean, your phone will just start ringing and keep ringing.
Yeah, it's really going to, Audrey, just like AJ said, it's going to depend on a lot on your resources. If you're putting together the CSV file yourself, then you're going to be spending, look, I mean, it's just a click to send out the emails, right? But you're going to be spending most of your time just doing the research. So.
And it has an accumulated, like, snowball effect. You can send out a couple hundred or 100 for 5 days, and that still could keep you busy for the next 2 weeks because you don't know when people check their email. You don't know when they're going to follow up. So the more you do it on a consistent basis, the larger body of emails you have out there, the more your phone's going to start ringing and keep going from there and there. I mean, it's not sending out 100 and then sit there and wait for your phone to ring. I mean, it doesn't work that way. And with email, it's hard to get raw numbers and stats on email because they're always lower than what they should be. Or not, I guess they're not. Never mind. I'll take that back. A lot of email addresses don't get checked. Somebody just goes and deletes stuff. It might go to spam. There's just so many factors in there.
In other words,
just get going and get it going.
Get the numbers up. Audrey, let's make it practical for you. You get the numbers up as high as you can get them per day on average, okay? So if you can afford to spend $400 or $500 a month to hire an outsourcer to scrape all the leads for you, do that. If you can't do that, then budget a certain amount of time per day or on the weekend or whatever so that you scrape a bunch of leads, put them in a CSV file, and you do as much as you can do, and then just let it fall into place because it will.
Outsourcing doesn't have to be Philippines. Anybody here know somebody who's got a teenage kid who wants some extra cash? Shoot a video, show them how to do it, and say, I'll give you $20 for every 50 of these you put in or every 100 of these you put in. Outsourcing does not have to mean in the Philippines or overseas. You can do it locally with your friends, family, kids, nieces, nephews. It's so, everybody overlooks outsourcing and they're scared nobody knows what they do, and then they don't like to bring family into it. Everybody on this call and everybody I've ever talked to in this environment has some family member that needs cash or kid or somebody's kid's friend that needs extra cash. $20 to a sophomore in high school go a long ways. Not really, but to them,
Good point.
it does. Have them do this stuff for you. You're helping out them, you're keeping it local, and you're actually teaching them, you're not really teaching them a marketable skill like just by filling out CSV form, but you're also introducing them to what you do and getting them going towards down that route. So it doesn't have to be hiring somebody you barely understand in some country you'll never visit. If that makes sense.
Makes total sense. Daniel's got a great question. When you sell a mobile website, what do you generally include with it? In other words, what incentivizes the prospect to become a signed client?
Tell them to pull out their phone and look at their website on their phone. That's pretty much as incentivized as I need to get. When they pull it up on their phone and see it looks like shit, and then you talk about mobile traffic stats, I mean, you don't, everybody's used to seeing WSOs and stuff being sold in our little sphere of the marketplace where they think they need to offer 43 bonuses and 700 videos for a $9.95 product. Once you get out of this sphere and start talking to real business owners, they don't need that added incentive. They don't need a ton of bonuses. They don't need all this feel-good shit. They want results, and that's all they care about. Nothing more, nothing less. They want results. They want you to do what you said you're going to do. They want you to do it in the time frame you said you're going to do. And they want you to charge what you said you're going to charge. If you hit all four of those marks, you don't need incentives. It's just that simple. Everybody on this call is used to buying stuff in this world or this internet marketing community. We have 43 bonuses and we have 75 videos. All our products we put out don't have all that stuff. I sometimes buy products for bonuses, and if there's a big launch, I buy the product like 5 to 8 times just to get everybody's bonuses. Then I filter through what I need, pull it out, and just delete the rest. A lot of times I'll buy something, just whoever hits my inbox first, I like to buy from other people just for the hell of it. And they'll have 50 bonuses for the product. I won't ask them about it. I won't download. I don't need 50 bonuses. I don't have time enough to look at the stuff I do buy, let alone time to look at bonuses that people threw in there just to get the shock value or the shock and awe value up. Don't have time for it. If you guys would spend less time reading the stuff and actually doing the stuff, a crazy thing will happen. Your phone will start ringing. You'll start getting clients.
Yeah, that's true. Jim has a question. What email software provides that info? Unfortunately, Jim, I don't know what you're talking about.
Me either. Follow up with another question when we get there. We'll go over.
Just try it again.
I have a niche directory that I want to allocate, auto-locate the person on their mobile device and pull up the listings within the radius. Do you know how to do that on a mobile site rather than an app? It has to do with geolocation, and they got to share their location, but I'm sure that's absolutely possible. We got a geo plugin we might be releasing shortly. I don't know top of my head. You're not talking to two programmers here. Is it possible to do? Yes. I don't know what you're using for your niche directory or anything, so I can't go any further than that, really. Unless you got some magic you want to share, Lee.
No, I mean you know more about it than I do. I was just going to say that's above my level of expertise. I mean it can obviously be done, but I have no clue as to how to do that. It's not a bad idea, actually.
Let's see something. Hold on. All right, I'm just looking at Rick's question, so I'm just going to pull it up on my computer. For those of you that have Windows 8,
kill yourself before you buy another computer, apparently.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to quit internet marketing because of Windows 8. I hate starting out my computer in the morning. Rick says, I got an email from David and Jamie from Plugin Beast the other day that showed a mobile website builder has full tracking suite inbuilt. If I'm not mistaken, I've seen this before, you got to pay per month for the sites and everything. Here is the deal. You're building a business. Now, between our mobile builder and this might have like all this integrated stats in the back. This company right here, and I'm not saying this specific, but let me run through an example for you. A lot of these sites are popping up. They're charging monthly for everything, yada, yada, yada. What a lot of people don't realize is sites like this usually have a lot of investor money behind them that have to have a profit. What happens if you build 150, 200 clients and this site goes belly up? They can't afford it anymore. They mismanage all their money. You wake up one day to 200 voicemails saying my mobile website's down. I don't like turning over my business and a critical asset of it to somebody else and hope they stay in business. That's a big part of where we differentiate from them. Ours is hosted on, as long as WordPress stays a functioning thing, and even if it doesn't, I mean, it'll still work. You control your business. It's more of an in-house solution compared to an out-house or an outsourced solution, and I'm not going to say that ours is better than theirs. I don't know what theirs does, and theirs might have a few cooler features and tracking. Like I said, we're working on it. But at the end of the day, I'm not building my business and paying monthly. I don't mind paying monthly expenses for stuff I need, but I don't want to be a middleman for somebody else. Even though they're still your client, this client never knows the PIGNZ, which is a horrible pigeons, I guess.
Is that what that means? I've been trying to figure it out.
I don't know. There's a bird next to it, so who knows. Either way, I can't say what would ever happen, but if for some reason this company went belly up, they shut off their website, all your client sites are streaming from there, all of a sudden you got 50 emails and you got to create 50 mobile websites on the fly and you made people mad. That's my big drawback, and that's why we created a social mobile platform. And we got a lot of development going on behind the scenes to where 6 months from now it's going to be on par with anything on the market. But that's the issue right there, is you're putting your business in somebody else's hands. If that makes sense, Rick. If there's anything you want to add to that.
Yeah, that made total sense. Rich has got a question. What number of emails sent per day do I need to get a different server? Clueless here. Do you have a good referral to get thousands of emails sent, or do I get something with HostGator, etc.? Rich, Kyle just set our business up with this new thing that Amazon has to deliver our emails after someone purchases, because we were having like sometimes a 1 or 2 minute delay when somebody would purchase something before they would get all of their emails. And of course not everybody, but some people got confused about that, et cetera, et cetera. So we went with this Amazon email thing. This is the extent that I know about it, but let me tell you something. This thing's blindingly fast, and you can apparently run a ton of emails through it. It's incredibly cheap. I mean, it's so cheap it's not even worth thinking about. So that might be a good direction for you.
Good answer, because I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Kyle. You know, he does this stuff and then says, you know, I did this. Do you want me to explain it to you? And I say, no. But if you really want to, go ahead. If you want to explain it.
I'm not going to listen. I'll do other stuff.
Yeah, right.
As long as it helps out, that's fine. I should go for it.
Exactly.
Tom says, what about return on direct mail? Calls from businesses and then turning them into customers. That's a hard thing to quantify because it all depends on who's answering the phone. I'll give the same pitch I've been giving for a year, and I can give the same pitch 10 years from now. Even if you're a horrible salesman, companies are used to talking to good salesmen. Tell them you're a horrible salesman. You get stuttery, your hands get clammy, you feel like the whole call is going to shit. Just stop talking, 3 seconds recoup, and be like, I apologize, I don't think this call is going the way I wanted it to. I'm new at selling this to businesses. I'm used to working online and doing this stuff in my own business, but I'm not used to talking to other people about it. And leave it at that. And I tell people just stop talking after that, leave it there. Let the customer respond to that. What you're doing with that little blurb, and just put it in your own words, you got to be real, is the person on the other end of the line just waiting for the shoe to drop and the hard sell to start coming in, because it's been too easy. You sent them a direct mail piece that showed them parts of their business and proved you were at their website. They called you back and you're just asking them what questions they have. You haven't even pitched them anything. You pitched them slightly, but you haven't done a hard sell. So in the back of their mind, they're waiting for the hard sell, even if they say they're not. And when you say that, they know the hard sell's not coming, because they know you don't even have it in you if you wanted to hard sell them. Their mindset will flip. The call will go smoother. They'll actually help you along with the call. They'll tell you what you're doing wrong and right and what you need to say. They'll be like, hey, a minute ago you were telling me about this. Probably easier for a business owner like me to understand if you framed it this way. And when I started doing this and getting calls, I've been on phone calls, I've sold stuff, I've been a telemarketer, so it wasn't a big deal. About a week or two into it, I started taking this approach. I act like I was stuttering, and then I just ask them stuff. The amount of information I got back from them was just mind-boggling. And I still do this to this day when people call me. I'll get all nervous and act like I'm nervous and then do the same thing I just told you, because I always want them critiquing what I'm doing. See, a lot of stuff with direct mail, even if you buy stuff for people who do direct mail or whatever, they can give you stats and it works, and I'm not saying it doesn't work. Everything I've done, I get more information from my clients. When I first started direct mail, I'd call them up and get the person on the phone and have them walk me through why my direct mail piece doesn't work. I'd get them on the phone and tell them I was new and didn't know what was going on, have them critique my sales pitch and everything. I have all these people that give me feedback just because I act like I don't know what I'm doing. And that's the best way. You can go to a copywriter, you can go to Dan Kennedy, and they can give you facts, stats, and NLP and all this other stuff. But the best information is always going to come from the person that you want to read it, view it, and act on it. So that's a lot of stuff I have that's where it comes from, and that's why everything's laid out how it is laid out. It's how I do what I do and why. So there's no real stats on calls from businesses and then turning them into customers. I couldn't give you mine if you put a gun to my head, and everybody's going to be so different that quantifying that is different than quantifying email open rates. Email open rates, there's probably a number out there. The callback, even there is a number, you take a group of 10 people with 100 calls, there's 1,000 calls, you can get a percentage off that. But if you're the person that walks into it doing it and you base that number and all 10 of those people sucked on the phone, but you're good, the number might be really low, but yours might be really high. So I don't like to quantify that because there's too many variables.
Let me add one more thing to that. And Tom, I'm not trying to dodge the question, but I do want to add this twist to it. Everybody on this call is different, and everybody probably has a different personality and a slightly, let's say, for some people on this call, selling stuff might be easier than for others, but there's not one person on this call who can't make this stuff work for them and have a seriously good income doing this stuff. So, you know, person A's numbers might be wildly different from person B's numbers. let's say person A's numbers are a lot worse than person B's numbers. So what? What does that matter to person A? Person A should only be interested in their number. Okay, so if they have to send out, let's say they're a total genius, not on the phone. Okay, let's say they just screw up the phone bad, they get hives or whatever when they answer the phone, and they just act like a total idiot. And let's say they have to send out 50 direct mail pieces to get a deal. Okay, well, fine. So they have to send out 50 direct mail pieces to get a deal. Big deal. Those are their numbers. Unless so we got somebody else who used to sell automobiles for 20 years and is extremely good at selling stuff, and they got to send out a whole lot less to get a deal. Well, that's fine. That's their numbers. The bottom line is that this stuff will work for everybody, and you just got to be you, and you got to quit over. Tom, I'm not saying you're overthinking stuff, but some people on this call are overthinking stuff. And you just got to quit overthinking stuff. You got to take more action and do less thought, okay? And instead of sitting around wondering about what's going to happen, you just need to do stuff and let it happen. And you'll be just like that girl on the Facebook group who totally screwed it up, and guess what? It worked.
Did you say get high when you answer the phone?
Get high? Hives! No, I did not say get high. I'm an Eagle Scout. I do not say things
I thought you
like
said even
that.
if you get high when you answer the phone. I was like,
well, even if you do that, you have a bigger problem. But even if you do that, I said hives like you're breaking out. Oh God.
Okay, I'm just clarifying.
Yeah, that needed clarification apparently.
All right, Joe, you got a big question here. I'm just going to read it out loud. This question goes back to the Facebook fan page status updates. There are many Facebook fan pages that don't lend, possibly want viral videos, funny, touching pics, or the good stuff that actually affects the viewer and then makes them want to share. This may be because the type of content may not lend to the look, feel, or style of the Facebook business. This keeps that biz in the boring business category, but on the positive side also creates a certain look and feel to that biz. How do you work through this without challenging the overall style of the Facebook fan page? If that's the case, I don't offer them Facebook fan page management. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If I can't do it the way that works and gets results, and I know get results, it doesn't say I'm not going to take them on as a client for something else. I just won't answer or run their Facebook fan page because the way I'm teaching you guys the way it works, it works. I don't want to reinvent stuff and try to. The edge rank and everything is predicated on the fact that people like and share and comment on posts. If they only want to be strictly button-up business stuff, good. They can have a fan page and they can have it there, and it might do something every now and then. But it's not going to get them out there and get them a new client. So just don't take them on for Facebook management. I mean, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. Just be truthful about it.
Unless there's some way you make business status updates go viral and be funny. I mean, just don't.
Yeah. How are you going to do that?
There's no way. There's no way to do it in my mind. So.
No, absolutely. You're basically just setting yourself up for failure. But there are enough businesses out there who understand Facebook and who understand the nature of viral marketing, or who will understand that. You just sell to them.
The only other way to get around that I actually would say is we talked about the gravity method. Ben Atkins put out stuff. You can make a gravity page that's just focused on their location. So say it's Atlantis, and you build it up. And you got to charge them more, but you got to keep control of the page. And you post that funny viral stuff on that page to get interaction with that page. And then instead of them posting the updates on their page, you post the updates there and point them back to the website or page. That's basically what he was talking about. I guess that's the way to go about it, but I don't know. I wouldn't go that route.
I would just skip them and sell them something else.
A mobile website sales. Do you host a mobile website? And if you do, what do you charge? I do now. My clients switched over to our social mobile platform, which forces you to host it yourself. Doesn't give them the option of hosting it, which I guess you could if you want to install all their site, but that's a whole different matter. So yeah, I host it. Usually, if I'm doing nothing but it, I'll charge $47 a month, and that's what I usually do in my sales process when it comes to mobile websites. I sell a mobile website, do the $47 a month, so it does two things. I deliver what I say I'm going to deliver in the time I say I'm going to deliver for the price, and the results are what they expect. So once that happens, they instantly like me and see my work, and they're automatically set up on an auto bill, so if we go up or down from that, they're used to paying me monthly. The whole idea is just getting them paying you monthly. So everything you add on, you just add to the monthly charge. A lot of people think they need to go from 47 to 497, they have to structure it out and be like, for another $17 you're getting this, and $97 of this is this. You don't have to price each individual thing out. If you're taking them from 47 to 497, just lay out overall what they're getting. Try to piecemeal it out and price everything, because it's a pain in the ass, and it's just not a good way to do business. You're the consultant, saying, I'm going to give you all this stuff right here. It's a package. It's $497. They ask how much each individual one is because they want to pick and choose. Just say no. It's take it or leave it. All right. Sounds like Lee's muted.
Yeah, I was, because I was looking up something for Audrey, who's got a question a little later now. I actually found it, Audrey. We'll drop it in there and talk about it in a sec.
Info required is how many times email is opened, etc.
I think that was
the read note. Yeah, it was Jim's. We didn't know what he was asking. That's run through Read Notify. If you use mobile ATM, I'm trying to figure out a way to run it through Yesware. This is a company that's doing a lot more stat-wise. I think it's Yesware. Maybe I'm wrong. No. Yes. Email tracking. Oh, yeah, it is Yesware. This company right here does a lot more with tracking your emails. And we've put on the list of stuff for Kyle to look at, see if we can integrate this with mobile ATM. But this right here is awesome. Read Notify does the job and integrates with mobile ATM. It'll show you how many times they've been open and all that stuff. So, yeah, there's no specific email service you need to use. You just have to use Read Notify. What you do is say it's Lee at lecoonline.com. All you got to do is add .readnotify.com to the end. So what you do is you send an email to their servers, and they resend it out so they can track it. Are there any updates on sales strategy or implementation with reputation domination? No. I mean, it talks about direct mail, and the template hasn't changed, so. Nope. That's it. Pigeons misspelled. Yeah, that's what I thought after staring at it for a while, and that bird. I totally agree with you about maintaining control. I don't want to be involved with them. I just wonder if you're going to include any tracking endpoint. Yes, like Lee said, we're working on it.
Yeah, it's doable. It's just it's a much larger thing than you would imagine. So it's going to take us a little while.
Yeah, but it's all coming.
Audrey's asking what the Amazon Mail thing is called. That's why I was muted. I was looking in the chat between me and Kyle about this. Apparently it's called Amazon SES. So that's Amazon and then the letters SES. What that stands for, I don't know.
A little further in the question box, she already found it and answered. You didn't even have to do that extra work.
Well, I'd have to pull my question box down to do that.
Just let you know.
Where is Sherry?
It's Audrey. Who was asking that?
Thank you, Sherry.
Okay.
I still don't see it, but anyway.
Thanks, Lee. Is that Amazon service for purchasers of products or prospecting direct mail to local business? It's something to do with sending emails.
It's basically an extremely fast sending email type thing. That would be the extent that I know about it.
Tom says, which of these three categories makes the easiest sale? Not fulfillment, but sale. Mobile, reputation management, or Facebook fan pages. These are the only three types of direct mail I do for lead gen to get clients. They all work well, and here's why they work well. I'll tell you each one is specific. Mobile's huge because right now they have an asset, a website, that once you show it to them on their phone, they realize that what they currently think they have that's working, there's a huge hole missing. So you're not selling them an additional service. You're plugging a huge hole in their marketing already. Easy sell. Facebook fan pages, they already have one. They've messed around trying to do it. So still, they know they need to do it. They're just beaten down and they don't know how to make it work. Boom. Something they tried, they couldn't figure out, and they already have an asset. You can fill that up and make that into an asset. Easy sell. Reputation management, these people put their blood, sweat, and tears behind their company. They don't like to have bad stuff said about it. If you can get all the good stuff start coming in and alleviate that for them, boom, you've taken away a pressure point. It's all about, a lot of people think they need to go out the door and sell an additional service. So somebody who's online or just whatever business, they think they need to sell them PPC or video service or something above and beyond what they're already doing. It's an easier sell to take what they're already doing and not doing well and fill that hole in their marketing than it is trying to sell them something additional. So you're coming in, pushing all their pain points by pointing out their pain points, especially with the mobile sites and the fan pages and reputation management. All three of those are very pain point sensitive, where you poke it enough, they're like, shit, I need to hire this guy. And then you start selling the other stuff because you can. How do we integrate the EZPP WSO with social mobile plugin? I haven't had a chance to look at it. I didn't even know Lee mailed for it today. So
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've looked at the sales page and I bought it and everything. I just haven't had to look at it.
Yeah, we have to look at that and see. Ali, the person who did that's a good friend of ours, so we'll be talking to him about that and see if there's a possibility there. Ooh, Audrey figured out what it was. It's Amazon's simple email service.
We just had this conversation a minute ago.
But you didn't call her Audrey. You called her something else. You said some other name besides Audrey, and I was looking for that other name and I couldn't see it. So there.
Man. That's fair. You're right. I don't want to get depressed from people discouraged. When don't I have a long question?
That's cool. No problem.
Like Wesley. He says, or was it Wesley? Hold on. This thing keeps moving and I can't see anything. 50% off root canals and free laughing gas. I love that. If I could find a dentist that would let me advertise that, it would be awesome. Probably get in trouble for it, but. Rick, yes. Mobile tracking is being implemented. We don't have an ETA because we just don't. Do you guys have any demo samples of types of sites that we can build with SMP? It's always nice to see a product like SMP in action have a base reference for building new sites. I'm on my new computer and I don't even know.
Do we still have those on?
I don't even know.
From doing our webinars. Joe, I'll see if I can find you some examples.
I'm on a new computer, so I'm very helpless right now. Do you charge setup for mobile website or just monthly charge? Absolutely. I charge a bare minimum $5.97 per site. If you give it away for free, just trying to get $25 or $40 or $50 recurring, you're selling yourself short. You're going to take on a client. I'm not going to say if you offer that to the client you take on, it's going to be horrible, but the high response rate, you can pick up horrible clients. Charge for your time, charge for your services, charge well, and you'll build a what I call a lifestyle business. You don't have to deal with the idiots. Do each of you still use PayPal or something else? I still use PayPal, and I'm in the process. I actually got it set up, my bank account hooked up. I am using very shortly, let's go here, Braintree Payments. Okay, I forgot to put the .com. I'm going to offer all my clients 1 month off whatever they're paying me. Or not 1 month off, a discount or something to get them all switched over. But this thing right here, they handle all the billing for Living Social, Airbnb, 37 Signals, which says Basecamp, Angry Birds, Open Table, GlitHub, Fab. I mean, what these people offer inside here for a very low fee, it's just amazing. You can up their monthly. Like, say you got somebody on a recurring every month, they're paying you $3.97, and you up them $9.97. All you do is click a few buttons. If they send you referrals and you give them 1 month off, all you do is pause it, and it'll pick right back up instead of trying to cancel it and starting it back up. So my suggestions. How long have I been pushing this product lead and haven't got my own business set up? 10 months now? So you tell a joke to somebody that's muted and there's no laugh back.
I'll just pick on Lee night. I mean, that's because you give me so much crap whenever I'm typing something, because I've got this 100-year-old desk that makes all this noise.
Yeah, I think you have.
Okay, I will unmute myself and type. And then y'all can just listen.
I'm going to send you a sound quiet keyboard. I'm going to buy it from Amazon and just have it sent to your house.
Okay, well, I'm answering Ed's question, so.
Okay.
And I forgot what I was saying.
Do each use to you. If you lay it out piecemeal, they will try and pick it to pieces. Yeah, I mean, go in there with you're the expert and stop letting people pick apart what you do. How do you approach business for rep management after a mobile site has foot in the door? Would you go over what services you provide for rep management? Once you get them, all you got to do, you've got their attention, they're paying you. You're a part of their team now. Put together a PDF with all their shitty reviews everywhere and link to them. Like, hey, I just did an audit on your online reviews, whatever you want to call it. I've got it written down somewhere what I call it, but I can't think of it. And give it to them. Like, look, you got all these horrible reviews everywhere, and don't just do that. Point out the good reviews too. You don't want to beat somebody up over it. Be like, and explain to them like the reason this is if a client doesn't like your service or feels slighted, they're 100 times more likely to leave a review than somebody that's happy. I've got a system in place where I can get all those happy people to start posting reviews for you. Is this something you'd like to talk about? If the business owner says no, just shake your head and wonder to yourself how long this guy's made it in business and how. But yeah, it's a very easy pitch. Tell us more about the app plugin you recommended today. I haven't had. We know Ollie G from the past. He puts out killer shit. Lee looked at it. We haven't had time to sit down. Because whenever we buy something like that, me and Lee get on a call and we sit there and pick it apart and figure out how we're going to integrate it in our business. Once we do that, we'll let you guys know. But we just haven't had time for it today.
Basically, Terrence, what it does is it works with it's both a WordPress plugin and a standalone thing for HTML sites, and it essentially allows you to put a mobile app on a phone that links back to a website, and it works with iPhones, Androids, and Blackberries. That was the thing that really got me, because a lot of this mobile app stuff that we've seen, let's say the past year and a half, it would either be Android or you'd have issues with iPhones and stuff like that. So, like AJ said, we've known Ollie for a long time, and he puts out really, really good stuff. I don't know the total extent of it, but I looked at it enough to know that it was really, really cool, and that we should tell you guys about it. But we'll be playing with it some more over the next few days.
Daniel coming in with a long question. For mobile websites, is it just a website to solve the ugly mobile display issue that the mobile ATM points out to the prospect? No type of tracking, SEO, or any type of stats to improve what I'm doing for them? I ask this because I'm worried that the client will end up coming back to me with concerns about not being found on Google or possibly ask me what they're paying for. I can build a mobile site by hand rather quickly, yet have not tried to sell one. I have contracts in terms of agreement concerns as well. Even if a client isn't ranking well on their website, say they got a website up that's not ranking well for Atlanta Dentist, do they still need a website? Yes. It's going to mobile quicker than anybody 2 years ago nobody would imagine, because 4 years ago it was a race to the smallest phone. I remember 4 or 5 years ago they had the Motorola Razor. Everything was trying to get as tiny as humanly possible. Now we're on the opposite swing, especially with the Samsung Galaxy Note, which is basically a not laptop, but what do you call like an iPad and
Tablet.
Kindle Fire? Tablet in your pocket. So you don't, if they don't realize it, I mean, you don't have to SEO. If they have a website that's not ranking, do you think they're going to take that down because it's not working? They can do different type of advertising. So say they advertise in a newspaper and they put a QR code or do whatever. If they're advertising in their place of business with a QR code or something, they need a place where those people can go to on their phone and view it and interact with it. So it doesn't matter if it's not getting ranked in SEO, and there's SEO options built into mobile ATM. You can do all the SEO you could with a standard website. So it's not a hard sell as long as you tell them what they can do with it. Just tell them, hey, you got a mobile website now. You got to come from the consultant standpoint. Be like, hey, now you got this. You can market to people on their phones. You can do more interactive stuff inside your place of business, yada, yada, yada. They don't need proof. They understand it. And then that's how you go about it. I mean,
yeah, that does make sense. It's even for some businesses, it's even simpler, Daniel. Like for a lot of retail businesses, I was talking to a retail business the other day. I said, this was in person. Okay, so I had the phone. If I'm talking to somebody over the phone and they're not in front of me, I tell them, get your phone out. I want you to see some stuff. Okay, so that's how this conversation goes down. So I pull up an example mobile website. I say, look, they touch that, and it comes up with the call thing. One more touch, they're calling your office. They don't know how to get to your retail business. Look, I touched this, bam, I've got a map with directions. That was it. That's all that person needed to see. They said, okay, that's cool. When can you get that up? So, because we're coming, all of us, we're coming from the internet. We think that business owners, the rest of the business world, really wants all this internet stuff. But really, you got to think about what a retail business wants. A retail business wants very few things, but those few things are extremely important to them. They want the phone number easily found. They want the address easily found. They want directions easily found. With our mobile website builder, we can put in coupons, which is like another level from that. But just those three things I mentioned there will sell a mobile website. They're not worried about
The
ranking and all
price,
that stuff.
the price, there's no price reduction. A $600 expense for a business is like the slowest thing they'll buy all year, almost.
Yeah,
They're used to
it's
high-priced
almost
stuff,
there.
and it just makes sense to them. They don't want anybody to land on their website and not be able to find their business or call them. So it's a pretty easy sale. Audrey! Yeah. Did you read that, Lee?
Whatever.
I'll read Audrey's statement. She said, AJ did say Audrey about the Amazon SES. Anyway, that's what I heard. Thank you, Audrey.
Audrey, I think you need a new pair of headphones. That's what I think. So there.
All right, Lee.
I heard something else. I don't. Was it Audrey who said, "Please don't be boring. I'm about to fall asleep," or was that something? Somebody said that while you were
It
gone
was somebody
before.
else when we first got going.
Well, we are not being boring, Audrey.
AJ, please don't quit marketing till after force results. Maybe we should downgrade to Windows 7. BJ, I actually thought once I got it home and spent an hour debating my life and whether I wanted to go get a job and quit this stuff, I'm going to give it a chance. And I got a different laptop I'm going to order. I just needed something right away. I couldn't wait for that, so now that I got it and stuff transferred over to her, I feel like I use it for a little bit. I'm actually giving it to my girlfriend. She needs a new computer or whatnot. So I'm going to give it a chance, so then when I order my real computer, I can see whether or not I want Windows 7 or 8. So I'm giving it the old college try, but it's frustrating.
You're being open-minded.
Yeah. Did you get StarDock Start 8 for your Windows 8 computer? It gives you the Windows 7 Start menu with all its features. I didn't. I'm going to take a note of that because I don't know what I use for my Start feature. It's like I got my Start feature back, or the Start button somehow back. There's a bunch of stuff that does it, but I will definitely check this out.
See you, Ed.
Huh?
Ed says he's got to go. Thanks. Always great stuff. Ed and anybody else, we're recording this, so this will be up in the members area at some point tomorrow.
Is there a cloud situation or something better for having a central repository to make files available back and forth to VAs? Dropbox. I use Dropbox. I share a file with them. I upload something there. It gets synced on Dropbox, and it's on his computer. There's also Box.net. I mean, there's so many ways to do it. I could spend this webinar going through them. I use Dropbox. If not, Box.net. It's perfect for this type of stuff. Which remind me about that, Lee. We need to set one up for us.
That's a good idea. Google's got that new version of Google Docs, which I played around with a little bit.
Joe, we have an ever-evolving list of additional features. We don't have ETAs. We don't give ETAs out on software development because it's software development. If it was me putting out a report, I could give you an ETA, but we just can't. But once we get a centralized version of what's coming out, we'll give you guys an update.
Cool. What do you guys need to know in order to either start making money or make more money? One or the other. Let's get focused a little bit.
I'm unfocused. People are putting good ideas for start menu stuff, so I'm...
I know. That's cool. I didn't know about that either.
I got to take away a little bit from this webinar and make my life easier.
All I know is I'm just going to go buy a Mac when my computer dies, but you know. Do you utilize Google AdWords keyword searches and enable mobile searches function when you are prospecting for new clients?
People search for the same stuff on Google that they do on mobile Google. I mean, you don't look up something different because you're on mobile. The only way it might change is you might put like an exact address, or restaurants at the corner of 8th and Pine, something like that, and you don't even want to go down that road.
Daniel, client, yeah, go ahead. You're going to say the same thing I'm going to say.
As far as I know, me and Lee are not lawyers.
I've
that's why
never
we've never
played one
given
on
out our
TV.
agreements or contracts or stuff. I have a lawyer who I go to for all this stuff, and he looks over all my stuff and makes sure I'm federally compliant so I don't get thrown in jail or something. I don't know exactly what to say to this because different states have different stuff, and then how I run my business, 95%, I'm in Illinois, and 95% of my clients aren't in Illinois. So there's different stuff that needs to be across borders, but I've got standardized stuff that I use. And contracts and agreements and everything, while they're there to protect you and the buyer, if you do what you say you're going to do and get the client happy, all that stuff doesn't matter. They're going to pay you. They want to keep you. They're not going to sue you. So if you focus on that, the contracts and agreements I'm not saying aren't necessary and helpful and stuff. They are. I'm protected out the wazoo with all my stuff. And like I said, I pay a lawyer to look over all my stuff. But go pay for an hour of a lawyer's time. Go to, what's that one website? Where can you like hire an expert for like a half an hour or something?
You can't you get lawyers off of LegalZoom? I've never done that, but
oh, I'm sure you could. Live person. I'm pretty positive they have lawyers on here.
They probably do. We are, since we're talking about lawyers and a website, we are not endorsing this website.
Yeah, I had to guess what it was to search for it, so yeah. LegalZoom, I don't know what goes on here.
You know,
this is how...
The best thing, Daniel, is look, don't put too many roadblocks before you get started. I mean, if you need to get some cash flowing before you go get a lawyer, consider that. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying consider thinking about that. But at some point, just go talk to a lawyer. Or go to LegalZoom and download some generic contracts, and as soon as you get enough cash, go talk to a lawyer and hand them the contracts and say, would you look these over and change these if they need changing?
Yes, hand it to them and be like, how many laws am I breaking with this?
Well, they're lawyers, they're
that's what they do. When I went to my lawyer, and that's the first thing I said. I handed over my contracts, like, am I breaking any laws with using this? He read over and just shook his head. He's like, sit down. I was like, okay. All right, guys, I think we got all the questions.
I think we do. I think we do.
We'll keep answering questions, so if you guys want to keep firing them. I just put this together real quick. We're having a webinar tomorrow to go more in depth on this. I think I screwed everything up here. We do have a forced results because I think a lot of people, this is what they're looking for. People have been asking us for this forever. So, yes, here's my fancy thing. We're doing a forced results masterclass. It's 5 webinars starting on the 25th. Every Monday and Thursday for 2 weeks and a follow-up on the following Thursday. Set everybody up with accountability partners, and you guys got homework to do. We're basically going to force you guys to have money. Lee, if you want to drop that link in the chat box if anyone wants to do it.
I will, yeah.
We're basically going to lay this out because I know a lot of people, they might have all the information they need, but they need some hardcore coaching and stuff like that. And we're going to do this in a group environment. If you're looking for happy-go-lucky Adam, this is not the thing to sign up for. I'm going to be a drill sergeant on this stuff. There's a questionnaire you got to fill out. And if you don't fill out for a starter class, we'll refund you and kick you out. Excuse me. It requires giving me a contact phone number. If you're not turning in your stuff like you're supposed to be, I will get on the phone and call you and find out why. This is the best we could come up with for what you guys are asking. We got a limit on how many we're going to sell in this. I don't know how many we've sold so far, what's going on with it. But there is a real hard limit, and probably by tomorrow night it will be closed because we'll probably sell out tomorrow night. So I'm just throwing that out there. If you guys want to wait till tomorrow to get the more skinny on it, I didn't have time. I don't have those slides done, or else I'd show them to you and get into salesman mode, but I never really get in salesman mode on webinars. Here's what we got. If you want it, buy it. If not, all right.
Yeah, we basically, just add a couple of little things to that. We get hit up constantly from people asking us about coaching, essentially coaching, mentoring, et cetera, et cetera. And AJ and I have been going back and forth about this for a long time and just trying to figure out how to dovetail how much money we would need to make personally per hour to do this with how much we think people can actually pay for this. And so then we came up with this idea of doing a master class where we're going to have these 5 we're going to have these 5 webinars. We're going to have specific tasks that you have to do. We're going to focus on a very few things, and we're going to basically help you build a business. And if you don't do what we tell you to, then we're actually going to get mad at you and call you up and ask you why.
just for numbers on this, it starts on the 25th. If you guys
Yeah.
sign up and get going and do what we say you're going to do, by the 8th of March, you will have your first client. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean,
Yeah.
we're almost 2 months into this year, and I know there's a tipping point in a year where everybody's like gets all gung-ho, and then the enthusiasm drops. The next thing you know, it's July, and you're like, oh, shit, the year's half over. I got to catch up and get to where I wanted to be. And then you know it's Christmas. You're like, shit, I'll just start again next year. And it's a vicious cycle. I've been there before. I mean, when I got doing this internet marketing stuff, I was all over the board. I'm still all over the board. You can ask Lee. He's got to point me in the right direction most days. But with this, I mean, all you got to do is show up, do what we say, and we're going to teach you a skill that once this class is over, and we got a Facebook group, we're going to graduate you guys to a new Facebook group because we want you guys surrounded. I think a big issue a lot of people have is me and Lee have the ability and the fortune to talk to a lot of internet marketers on Skype all day long. We're on calls with different people. We're in touch with different people in the industry. So we have an outlet to talk about this stuff to people who know what we're talking about and get excited about it. I think a lot of the people are trying to do this on an island where they don't have that structure because they're not in a position we are where we've been in it long enough. We know everybody in the industry and stuff. So and especially talking to you guys even, you guys don't have that feedback. So we're trying to build a group of people where you guys can go forward together and create massive, massive success. And that's where this class is coming from.
Heather has got a great question about this. Heather is saying, will this work if we have the technical skills but are working and never seem to pick one business model and jump off into getting customers? Heather, I can say uncategorically that this will work for that. Technical skills is good to have. You don't have to have them. I'm glad that you do. But what really gets me about your question, what really piqued my interest is the fact that you're working. That means that you have, I'm guessing you mean you're working a job and you have limited time, which means that when you get unfocused, Heather, that's even worse than when me or AJ gets unfocused, which happens. We're all human, right?
I'm unfocused half my day.
I'm not saying anything, but anyway. But my point is, Heather, I used to have, I had a job for decades, right? But you got a job, and Heather, I don't know if you got a family or whatever, but that means that you have a very limited amount of time per week to do this in, which means that focus for you is even more critical than it is for somebody who doesn't have a job and who has all day to sit around and try to make things work. So this would be extremely good because we've got it laid out exactly what you need to do, when you need to do it, how you need to do it. It's extremely focused. It's repeatable. It's scalable. There's nothing amazing here that you haven't really heard us talk about, except that we're going to do this within the structure of, within the structure of a class and interaction with us. So, absolutely.
And CW, will you run this again? I'm out of time for half that period. We're going to run it again. Probably it'll be a lot higher price. We can't keep this price low. We just want to get it to our list of this price. If you're going to be out of town half that time, I'm going to talk about outsourcing too, where you can even have somebody else do this work for you. Either way, the replays will be up. If you can and have the ability to get in, I suggest getting in. Even if you don't go live with us, you're going to be surrounded by the same group of people. I don't say wait, because if you wait, I don't know when we're going to reopen this again. We don't have a time schedule for it. We've been working on this for a little bit, and this is what we came up with. So I don't suggest waiting, but, I mean, that's just me.
Yeah, I would agree with all of that. Tom's asking, are founding members part of the master class? No, Tom, founding members are not part of the master class. Let me give you a little more of an answer to that. AJ's been talking about coaching for a long time, and every time he talks to me about it, I say no. I didn't want to do it because I knew that look, I used to be a school teacher. I understand exactly what it takes to communicate someone to do something, to motivate them to do something, to get after them when they don't do something, to correct how they did it wrong, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I understand this in glorious detail. And I really didn't want to do it because yours truly makes more dollars per hour than that. Okay, I mean, it just didn't make sense for me just on a logical basis. And AJ kept saying, well, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. So then we hit on this idea of this master class. And that kind of like was it wasn't a real, it wasn't what you would call a compromise, because there's nothing compromised here in terms of quality, but it was a solution that he could deal with, AJ could deal with, and that I could deal with, but it's still going to take a lot of our time. Because we're not just selling you something here. This is not just something that we cooked up, you know, where we rubbed our hands together and said, let's make a little more money out of these guys, or a lot more money out of these guys. Our goal is for you to actually start making a ton of money doing stuff. That's the real goal. Yes, we have to get paid for it, because otherwise, rationally, we would have to take that time and do something else that we would get paid for. But the goal is for you to really for you to start making big money doing this stuff. And we can't do that if there's not enough money involved. So that's the entire answer to your question. Well,
and another part, earlier I said it was going to be run like a boot camp. For me to take time out to do this stuff, because there's going to be a lot of interaction with me, and I'm pretty much going to be, I'm going to be running the show on this and getting you guys going and stuff, calling people and following up. There's a significant time investment on my part for this. And if I'm going to invest that much time, I get passionately invested in your guys' success with this. So that's why we want people that are serious about this to get signed up. And I want the review testimonials. I want people on video like, hey, I got my first 5 clients. I can see a way out of my job in 3 months. That's what we're going for here. The money is just to get people, compensate us for our time, and get people who aren't committed to stay away. I don't care if 2 people sign up for this. That'd be fine. I'll still do it.
AJ and I both get emotionally very involved in this, and I think what I was trying to say, and I know Tom just said he totally understood, and I appreciate that, Tom. But I think what I'm trying to say is, rationally, we have to make X amount of dollars per hour in some sense. But also, AJ and I are, I mean, we're very passionate, emotional people, and we do not want to get involved with a class or a coaching thing or a mentorship and then have a bunch of people fail, because that will just make us personally miserable. So, you know, again, we had to structure the whole thing where we knew we could have success, but yet get paid for it. Heather, I saw that. Heather says she just added me on Facebook. I've got a few people that I need to add to the group, and I will do that just as soon as we hang up. Also,
this calls a success. Lee got another friend.
I know. I'm up to what, 4, 5?
All right, guys, any more questions? We're not going to force it down your throat or do anything. We're still here for Q&A, but we just want to throw it out there. Anybody want to hop on for tomorrow night?
Well, Joe's got a huge question now that you said that. As we are all expecting massive success within the field of IM, and of course, assuming you are breaking your ass in religiously prospecting, what is a realistic ratio to sending out lead gen material to a point where you can close 1 sale per day? I.e., how many sales letters would you have to send out per day, per month to see that type of close rate? Even if it sounds crazy, I expect to be there. Joe, that's not crazy at all.
Okay, here's the number I give out, because if I lowered this number, everybody would think I'm lying. And me and Ryan McKinney had a big, long talk about this the other day, because him and Mason out similar direct mail for getting reputation management clients. He's like, hey, I just had a student of mine send out 40 of these and got, I think he said 10 or 12 callbacks or something, which is an astronomical. I mean, like 1 out of every 4 people called him back. Here's what I could say about the mailers you're going to learn about in the masterclass and everything about it. If you put 15 of these in the mail a day, and once you get good at putting these together, it's so simple. You could do it in 2 hours' time, max. But I'm going to talk to you guys because I want you guys to outsource this. Put 15 of these in the day, and over the course of 2 weeks, your phone will be ringing several times a day. Same thing with the email. It's a snowball effect. It lands in somebody's inbox on Wednesday. They might not call you till the following Tuesday. So the more content you have out there, the more it picks up. All those late people start calling back, and you got a body of work out there that keeps continually getting called back on. And there become a point very quickly where you're going to have to cut off your direct mail because you're going to have to service your clients and get acclimated to that part of the business. So, yes, you're going to get calls, you're going to get clients, you're going to get overwhelmed, and then from there it's just figuring out how to scale it, how you can scale it. Scaling it's easy, just doing more of it, but you get to a certain point and becoming a one-man bandstand doesn't make sense.
Heather's got a great question since you were talking about Ryan. I know one issue I have is I can't take phone calls during the day when I'm at work. That's hilarious. You just heard AJ talk about Ryan McKinney. When Ryan met us, he worked in a extremely secure Department of Defense environment. basically, he's an ex-Marine, basically said if you brought a cell phone into the building, that the guards, instead of asking you about the cell phone, they grab you, they throw you to the floor, they confiscate all your stuff, they put you in a room, they make a bunch of phone calls, then they come in and ask you, why do you have the cell phone? It was a super secure environment. And he was having like a, eight in the morning, 6 in the afternoon type job. I mean, he had a pretty nice job there. So he talked to me and AJ about that. We helped him with how to structure that, how to send his calls to voicemail, how to call back, how to make it, how to work that in his favor so that he looked like a really busy person instead of just some guy who can get to the phone, et cetera, et cetera. That's very, very, very doable. Looks like Heather is a defense contractor as well.
What is this? We attract defense contractors.
I
We're
think
going
we
to start
do.
calling this DOD, Internet Marketing.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's just
When it
Ryan
comes
they throw to the floor. Maybe they wouldn't throw you to the floor, Heather.
when it comes down to it, yes, having a job's an impediment, but we're going to show you how to get around that and get going with this. All you have to do is set the expectations and have your cell phone relay what's going on.
Yes.
Be like, hey, I can only call back after certain hours, and then you do that. You got to call before work. There's ways to make it happen. You can call on weekends. I mean, there's definitely. And once you get a client or two, I mean, take a day off and just take all your phone calls.
There you go. Heather, this is a solvable problem, okay? And we'll be happy to talk to you in person and help you solve it. But this is a very solvable problem.
All right, guys, more questions, anything, easy way to gather contacts is to pick up business cards wherever you go. Yes, but that's scalable based on how many hours you want to spend picking up business cards. I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting that going and going to Chamber of Commerce events and stuff like that, but it's not a scalable business model because you only got so many hours in the day.
I don't ever go anywhere anyway.
I don't leave my house for business anyway, except if I'm going to an event. What's funny is in New York City, me and Lee and some other people are going up there at the end of March. We have something set up. We're going to walk into a restaurant. I'm going to have a fan page created and all stuff. We're going to fill a restaurant that's dead empty in like 2 hours. I'm so excited about New York City. It's awesome. Grocery shop. Yeah, I mean, Ben, here's the thing about that is when me and Lee first started working together, he was taking all clients in Atlanta, and I was telling him, I was like, I don't even take local clients. He's like, how do you mean you don't take local clients? I don't work with anybody within a 100-mile radius of me, and here's a simple reason why. The closer you are to them, they have a irrational expectation of you showing up in their business for stuff, and I learned it firsthand when I got going. I took on local people. They're paying you, and they think if they call, you should show up in their business and walk them through everything. That's bullshit, but it's how they think. I don't work with a client unless they're 100 miles away from me. And if they're within 100 miles radius of me, I tell them I can't work with them. I honestly do. There's just no way I'm ever going to show up in somebody's building. I mean, if they want to fly me out to LA or something and pay me a couple grand a day to get in their business, sure, I'll do that. And I've had offers for that, but I'm just too busy right now to actually do that. But I don't work with anybody local. I just don't. There's a webinar topic, how to work around your day job. That's definitely something that will be addressed in the class, and that's why we have the questionnaire, because I want to find out how many people have time and all this stuff, and that's how the questionnaire is set up.
Yeah, the class is going to be tailored as much as we can to you guys. Cool. Think we got it?
Anything else, or we're going to log off for the evening, everybody? 15,
Awesome.
14, 12, 9, 7, 3, 2, 1. Da-da. All right, guys. We'll have this replay up sometime.
It'll be up tomorrow. Yeah.
Did you record it, Lee?
I did.
Nice. All right, guys. Yeah, tomorrow we're having the webinar for the masterclass and everything. If you guys want to hop on that, you're more than welcome. And if not, I think we're doing this next week this time too. Is that how it's
we'll do it. I've forgotten what the date is, but it's the first week of March.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for showing up, and have a great evening.
Sounds awesome. See y'all later.
The organizer has ended the session.